So we're still in the sugya of sleep, making the olam a little bit sleepy. When you learn these halachas, we started Krishma Lamita. We got a Gavaldiga Maisa today, by the way, Modiga Maisa today. Listen to this Maisa. We'll get to it at the end. But Rabbi, so we're in the middle of the sugyas of sleep. The emissaries, we've got to go through some of the halachas of sleep. Last year of the week, we've got to go through some of the halachas that are nagaya to sleeping. So Krishma Lamita we pretty much did. I'm hoping last night the olam said Krishma Lamita with everything, with kavona. You had a better sleep, geschmack. You woke up this morning with our zabren to sit and learn. Okay, we shall continue with various of the other halachas that are negated to sleep. So number one, it's all about kavana. Now, Maisa, everything is about kavana, right? For those of you that are learning Tanya with us, everything is about chokhmah, bina v'das, intellectual powers, contemplation, thinking. Yiddishkeit is so much about thinking. And the emissaries sleeping is no different to that. There's a Mordechai Rambam. The Rambam says, it's brought down, by the way, in Shulchan Aruch as well. The Lavush brings it, the Aruch HaShulchan, Kafachayim, many Gedolei, Poskim Achronim, and Mukubalim, is that a person should have in mind when he goes to sleep, right? When you go to sleep, have kavana. Why are you going to sleep? You could change your whole sleep into a mitzvah. All you have to do is think, Rabbeinu Shalom, I'm going to sleep in order to have kavana, to be able to wake up tomorrow morning and learn Torah and daven with kavana and have koyach to be able to serve you. When you do that, the entire sleep becomes a mitzvah. It's an unbelievable thing. You could turn the whole sleep into a mitzvah just with a bit of kavana. Surely, with me? The whole sleep, that whole 4 hours that you managed to hop in, you can manage to do a mitzvah in the whole thing. All you have to do is have kavana in that case. The Kavachaim says that a person should actually say it out. It's not enough to think it by machshava. Kavachaim says you're meant to say it. Rabbeinu Shalom, I'm going to sleep in order to be able to serve you tomorrow. Your entire sleep, Yaakov, becomes a mitzvah. That's an unbelievable mitzvah. That's, for a regular Shiva Bacham, 14 hours of a mitzvah. That is unbelievable. That's great. Have Kavanah Rabbi Sai, it's a mitzvah. The Pirkei Belezer brings down that when a person sleeps, it's a nourishment and it heals, which contributes to his lifespan, which means if a person sleeps in the right time, for the right amount of time, the Rambam says everyone generally needs a different amount of time. According to Rambam, 8 hours is an average that a normal person needs. More than that, he doesn't need. But Al Kapanim, every person needs something different, so it depends on every single situation. There's a Vilna Gaon in Mishlei. The Vilna Gaon in Mishlei Perek Test brings down that if a person goes to sleep with a purpose, not stum to sleep, person goes to sleep with a purpose, it actually enables the neshama to ascend to the Beis Din Shel Mala, where the hidden secrets of Torah are generally learnt with the neshama. Zog the Vilna Gaon, it would normally take 70 years for the neshama to be able to learn such Torah, but if you go to sleep with the right kavana, then it changes everything. In fact, the Eitz Chaim brings down B'Shem the Adiga Arizal that the Arizal one time they saw him on Shabbos Kodesh, he was sleeping. I'm sure it wasn't for long, and his lips were moving. And when his lips were moving, they were trying to figure out what it was. So when he woke up, they asked him, Rebbe, what's up? What were you doing? He said he was being taught the secrets of the parsha of Bilam. That's what it was, and it would have taken him 80 years to teach these secrets to his talmidim. That's what he was learning about and dreaming about while he was sleeping. So when a person sleeps with the right kavanah, he enables the neshama to go to the Beis Din Shel Mala and to do the right thing. However, too much sleep, the Gemara in Gittin Daf Ayin tells us, is one of the 8 things that are harmful to a person if he indulges in them too much, which is why it's important for a person to be careful not to have too much sleep. Let's talk about some of the halachas as well. There are certain things that we don't do, and the reason we don't do them is because it's similar to what is done to a dead person. Famous one, for example, not our sugya, but a famous one is pouring a jug like this. Have you ever poured a bottle like this and someone told you, hey, don't do that? And oh, come on. One of the reasons is for this, because that's how they pour the water for a dead person. So, kaponim, a person should not sleep with his feet facing the door. That means his bed is in a way that he's right in front of the door. Okay? I don't know how to do this. We need Eli Stefanski, some kind of diagrams or something. I don't know how to do it. But you get what I'm saying. Sure, okay? So, your feet are facing the door. No, if your feet are facing the door, then we don't do that. Because again, that's what you do. If you ever saw, you should never see, but if you ever saw someone who was nifta, they always place him on the floor with his feet facing the door, and they carry him out that way also, which is why we don't do the feet. Head facing the door. Slicha. Thank you very much. Head facing the door. Thank you very much. By the way, there are those who are makban on feet also. There are those who are makban on feet. In Israel, it's very hard, by the way, because the rooms are a little bit, it's not America. It's not America. We don't have, Kenai Nahora. But Al Kaponim, there are people who are makban on feet also. That's the truth. There are people who are makban on feet also. No, dafka feet. I think forget dafka the feet. People are more makban on. More than the head. People are dafka on the feet because they bring the feet out first. So the people are makban on the feet. Al Kaponim. Moving on, Rabbi Isai. That is the halacha over there. But again, if a person's stuck, you're somewhere and the Emal Asop say that there's, you're still allowed to go to sleep. It's not like it's Issa, these are in Yonim. Sleeping with a Yamulka, also brought down, by the way, this is against Halacha Sheh. It's brought down Halacha, the Mishabur brings B'Shem the Shla Kodesh, that even though in Achanami, the real problem is to walk Dalad Amos without a Yamulka, because of other Yerushalayim, the Gemara in Kedushin, maybe we'll talk about it at a different time. To go to sleep, you don't really need a Yamulka, because you're not walking anywhere, you're not going Dalad Amos. But the Mishabur brings the Shla Kodesh that says that definitely a Yerushalayim to try to wear a yarmulke while sleeping. Of course, if it slips off, that's not your issue, unless you get them one of these big nanach or something or other that doesn't fall off, then you will be okay. But even if you don't, it's kedai, it's choshev, it's extra chumrah, that's for sure. The Magen Avraham brings as well b'shem Rizal that there are people, believe it or not, that wear their tzitzis while they are sleeping. Again, it's brought down. Halikah Chofetz Chaim brings it Mishabur b'shem Rizal. People do that. Why do they do that? For many reasons. Because you need to wear tzitzis during the day. Now, normal people go to sleep at night, so they're not chayiv in tzitzis. But unless you're waking up before nates, you're going to be sleeping while it's nates, while it's alois, meaning while the day began, and you're not wearing tzitzis. You're mavatal a mitzvah, chaval. You could be getting a mitzvah for every second. So they wear tzitzis because they may fall, maybe sleeping after nates. But maybe they wear tzitzis. That's one reason. Another reason, I'll be the Gemara they want to taina, is it's a shmira as well. Right? There are certain times we don't understand this. The Gemara Brachos tells us certain times that kaviyachol the Rabbeinu Shalom gets angry, whatever that means, and if you're wearing a tzitzis at that moment, you're safe, and you don't want to be caught without it. So again, it's not a halacha that you have to do, but it's brought down Mishabur B'Shem Arizal that it is definitely kedai for a person to do that, and it takes getting used to, that's for sure. Another halacha as well, the positions that a person should be sleeping as well. The Rambam brings in Hilchos De'esed Hayavitz brings as well that in the beginning of the night, a person should go to sleep on his left side, and at the end of the night he should sleep on his right side. And by the way, just stamazoi, Das Harofim, health purposes, health announcement, health and safety announcement right now, it is definitely more healthier for your lungs to be able to work properly and whatever they need to do to sleep on your side, as opposed to on your back, which should not be done, or on your stomach either. But Al Kaponim, wearing clothes as well. It's from people have this idea you're not allowed to wear clothes when you are sleeping. So Einach Hanami, the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch in Siman Ayin Aleph is one of the only people that really brings down that a person should not really sleep with his regular clothing on. But the Shmiras HaGuf HaNefesh does bring that you are allowed to wear your clothing. There's no real issa to do that. If you have a problem falling asleep, what do? So you could take a sefer. I don't know, for some people it doesn't work. For me, it doesn't seem to work. But, for some people, maybe taking a sefer would work. So if you take a sefer, maybe that would be kavaldik. I don't know. But the sefer, Taimim and Hagim brings down a skula to fall asleep is to think about the waves of the ocean. If you think about the waves of the ocean, the sefer, Taimim and Hagim brings, that is a skula for a person to fall asleep. We'll just end Rabbi Yisai this whole sugya with one kavaldik Maisa. There was a Rebbe here in Yerushalayim. He said over the Maisa, this is amazing. He said over this Maisa, I think his name was Rabbi Yosef. Something like that, Rabbi Yosef something, I can't remember now his family name. His name was Rabbi Yosef. He was a Rebbe here in a yeshiva in Yerushalayim. I don't remember which yeshiva. Anyway, one night, it's really, really late. He'd just been preparing shir for tomorrow. He's really, really tired. He gets undressed, he goes into his bed, and he puts off the lights, and he's ready to sleep. And then he realizes, oh no, I forgot to say Kriyash Malamita. What should I do? I'm saying, it's 35 minutes. The Rabban Shalom understands. He gets it. It's fine. Then he says, no, Kriyash Malamita, it's a shmir, I need to do it. He pulls himself out of bed, puts on some clothing, puts on the light, washes his hands, Agan Samaisa, says the words. It's really hard. He's tired, he's falling asleep, his eyelids are closing, and then eventually he manages to get through the whole thing, gets back into bed, falls asleep within moments. The next morning, he comes to yeshiva, here in Yerushalayim, I don't remember whatever yeshiva it was. And one of his Rebbeim, I think, maybe one of his Talmidim, Yaakov, I think it was, said, Rebbe, thank you so much, you saved me. The Rebbe was like, and we're talking about, I didn't do anything. The Rebbe, you saved me. I said, what happened? He said, last night, I was going through a terrible night. It was really hard. I was thinking about my life, and shidduchim, and my future, and parnasa. And I was having dark thoughts. Like, I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know what to do. It was really bad. I never had this before. I never had this experience before. I couldn't take. And all of a sudden, the phone like beeped. So he looked at it and he said, it was you. So the Rebbe said, I was sleeping and we were talking about it. I didn't send you any messages last night. He said, no, all of a sudden there was like a ping and I looked at it and it was the message that you sent me months ago that just came up today. Now, specifically, talking about when you say Kriya Shema Lamita, it's a shmira and it helps you and Hashem is holding your hand and Hashem is with you the whole night. And he said, when I heard that, it gave me such a chizuk. I said Kriya Shema, I went to sleep, I felt so much better. Rebbe, you saved me. He said, what time is that? He said it was around 12:45. The Rebbe said that was exactly the time that I said Kriya Shema Lamita. At that moment, he had saved someone without even realizing. Rabbi said the koyach of Kriya Shema Lamita, the koyach of sleeping with the right kavanah we spoke about today is unimaginable. Let's be zoicha that we go to sleep with the right kavanah, but even more importantly, we wake up with the right kavanah to serve Hashem. Have a wonderful and beautiful day.